Good morning, guys. I am here to talk to you about Kantianism, and I'm here to talk to you about virtue ethics. Um, Kantianism is more about valuing reason itself. It's because we're able to reflect on past things that we're able to, I guess, ultimately come to conclusions over the morality of what decision was made and what decision should be made. A lot of the philosophies that I'm going to quote out of the book said, only do things you could rationally endorse everyone else doing in a similar circumstance, and always treat others with respect and not as mere tools. It's pretty basic philosophy to follow there. It's pretty good too. And of course, next one's going to be virtue ethics. Virtue ethics is really about you. It's building good character. It's the only one of the ethics that we talked about that is actually about you and not as everybody as a whole. So I think that's a really important notion to note there. Virtue ethics, as described in the book, and I am quoting some here, is, live your life based on virtues. In other words, integrity, humility, etc. instead of your vices. Don't be gluttonous. Don't be lazy. Don't be an addict. It basically says that those people tend to live, the people who follow their vices instead of their virtues tend to live more unfulfilling lives and are ultimately less content, and they don't ever reach their full potential. I'm going to try my best to apply the ethics the way I understand it anyways to the topic of our crisis border with separating parents from their children. So here we go. In Kantianism, we value reasoning. Should you ever separate parents from their children? If their parents are violent and, abusive, then sure, absolutely. We could reasonably expect that the children need to be separated from there. But in this circumstances, crossing a boundary line. It's a fictitious line that was made up by man saying that this is the land of the United States of America. And since you came here, well, your children were born here, so they're technically legally citizens, but since you weren't, we're going to go ahead and send you back to where you came from. So now we've got children that are in detention centers and are under foster. The ethics behind it is should that be okay? So we got to ask ourselves do we rationally see other people doing this in this situation? And do we, are we using these people as tools? Well, I would say that we're not using them as tools, but I don't think that we're treating them with respect. Can we rationally endorse everyone to do this? So if you cross the border into a different country and you live there for a while and you have a child, could I expect that country to separate me from that child? Yeah, I think that it could happen. And that's the part about using Kantianism. I don't like that answer. It's not the answer I agree with, but that's not the point of the topic today. Lastly, let's use virtue ethics to do it. Does separating the children from their parents in this circumstance build good character, or is it living a life of virtue of any point to us? Absolutely not. It's humiliating. It's humiliating the fact that we're even doing this. I think that we're running towards a vice at this point. I believe that we're feeling hatred. I believe that we're feeling bigotry. I believe that it's a vice. It's not a virtue. It's not integrity. It's not humility. It's not compassionate. So if you were to apply virtue ethics to this, then no, it's not okay to do it. So, yay. 2 different answers, 2 different models of ethics. I hope I did this correctly. And other than that, if any of you guys have friends or family that are going through that, my complete condolences for you and my sympathy for you. I hope that gets resolved soon. Take it easy, guys.